Welcome back. Now on to our Patriot Report. Well, there is a strong allegiance of women out there who are just sick and tired of being told to stay in the shadows, and also who they're supposed to vote for because of their gender. Which brings me to my next guest. She's a retired Marine who serves as the co-chair of Veterans for Trump, and she's on the advisory board for Women for Trump. Please welcome to the show, Jessie Jane Duff. And I'm going to correct my producer there because we never say former Marine, we say Marine. Right, Gunny?
Well, that's true. That's true. But although I did retire off of active duty, because I don't think I can legally represent the Marine Corps right now on that. But thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah, but you know, I'm an old Zoomie. I was in the Air Force, and all my jarhead buddies say, once a Marine, always a Marine. Doesn't matter if you serve 4 years or 40 years, you're always a Marine. So thank you for your service, Gunny. Let's get to your groups and who you represent. Women for Trump and Veterans for Trump. You've been going crisscrossing across this country in a big bus telling women to get out and vote. And of course, women have come under attack with now the confirmation of Judge Barrett, where Democrats are telling you, just like Joey Biden told the black community, you better vote for Democrats. How do you feel about that when you're told who you should vote for by a party?
Well, you know, it's really hysterical because the Democratic Party has done nothing for women. I mean, actually, even our Voting Rights Act that was passed 100 years ago, the anniversary was in August of this year, was passed by, guess what? Republicans. Republicans have always been the party of freedom, and we want all parties and all groups and all people to have that freedom. And women, whenever I go across the country, I can't tell you how invigorating it is, because I did 11 cities in 2 days in Wisconsin, for example, just this past week. And everywhere we went, the crowd was invigorated. It was electric. You just can't, you can't make this up. Like, you go to a Biden rally and they're separated. There's nobody there. We are having a blast wherever we go. And the women are so proud to support this president. And I'll tell you why. They had record low unemployment for women in the history of this country under this administration. Record low unemployment for African Americans, Latino Americans, Asian Americans, and guess what else? Veterans, a drop of 37% from the numbers that were under the Obama administration. So what does that mean? All these women see their husbands back at work, their boyfriends, their sons, their uncles, everybody in the family benefits. It's not just a one-size-fits-all. And the identity politics that the Democrats keep trying to shove down our throats became very apparent with their own nominee when he did make that famous remark of what race you aren't if you don't vote for him.
Right.
What an audacity that he had to make that comment. But you know what I love about it? His mask was ripped off, because that's exactly how they think, that you, if you're a certain race or gender, or even if you are of a immigrant status, you should never be supporting this president. Oh, one more thing, everywhere I went, immigrants come out in droves, because what they're afraid of with these Democrats is the socialism ideals that they are pressing for the voters of America to go for. And that's why they fled the countries that they have come here from.
I'm glad you brought up vets, too, because I believe I read a report not long ago, I'm sure you saw it, that the veterans have given this president and this administration the highest approval rating of the VA, I think in its history, a 90-some% approval rating. And the president also is the one that got choice out there for vets, because let's be real, the VA's been screwed up for decades. I was fortunate that I didn't see combat. I wasn't injured. I didn't have to use it, but I got a lot of buddies that have told me their nightmare stories. And this president took action in the first, year, 18 months that he was in. Promises made, promises kept for our vets. And he's really bringing up, you just brought it up as well, women and the suburbs. We see what's happening in another city now, Philadelphia, last night. I got to think that women are out there looking for some security and safety and law and order, right?
Absolutely. So we're also looking at these never-ending wars stopping, which also impacts the families. Because when your child is joining the military, you don't want to think that they're going to have to go to Afghanistan, where we've been going on 20 years now. You know, he's pulled all of these troops out. And who was raising these red flags? The Democrats and the neocons, the never-Trumpers, who have always profited off of that defense industry, while our sons and daughters have had to go off to combat. So I'm going to give you some hard data. Under the Obama-Biden administration in 2015, an inspector general's report showed 300,000 veterans died just waiting to get into the backlog of the VA. 600,000 were still pending at the time of that IG report. And of those 600,000, over half have been, many of them had already been waiting a decade just to get in. So where I'm looking at, this president walks in and sees that this VA is nothing but corrupt, putting people on wait lists so that they can't even be seen. He ends up going in there and finally pushing for legislation where he was able to get 7,000 VA employees fired or reduced or demoted. And we never saw that under the Obama-Biden administration when those backlogs surged to record numbers. He also removed all of the federal loan, college loan debt for those that were permanently and fully disabled. These are no-brainers. Somebody who has lost everything as far all but their life should have not had to pay back student loans for their college debt. Also, the GI Bill, the Forever GI Bill, which helps veterans like you and me, is now lifetime.
Yeah.
It doesn't end.
No, I
at the
lost
end
mine.
of
You only had 10 years before. Until Trump, because I got out in '96. I had till '06. Real quick, Jessie, because they're starting to wrap me up. I want to know where you're going to be next so folks can come out and meet you, because we profiled you as our patriot tonight, because I think the message you're sending is amazing, not only for veterans, but for women. So where are we going to see you on that bus? It's 7 days till the big day.
Well, they're not putting right now. The Women for Trump bus is all over the nation. We have one that was just in Michigan, and that's where the president is today. It seems like we kind of go one step ahead. When I was in Wisconsin, then he showed up in Wisconsin just the following day. I'm not going back on the Women for Trump bus tour. We have other great surrogates that will be, but I plan on trying to get over to Maryland and visiting with Kim Klachik probably on Saturday. That'll be an exciting visit because she would be the first female to go in and basically demolish the Democrats that have run Baltimore for how many years now, how many decades now. Yeah. So I'm optimistic that we're going to, and I also plan on going back up to Reno, Nevada. So I'm all over the place. I go where the campaign tells me to go, and it could be within less than 24-hour notice. All
right. Jessie Jane Duff, you are a patriot tonight for standing up and having a voice for veterans and for women. Thank you so much for coming on Real America. We really appreciate it. You stay safe, okay?
Thank you for inviting me.
You got it. Stick around. We return. It's time to get real.